Today we'll be looking at walls. So walls inside of Revit can be placed by going to the architecture tab and clicking on wall. Now you can also use WA as a shortcut. When you're placing walls, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. First, you start by selecting a drawing tool, whether you're drawing a line, rectangle, or arches or some other form of drawing. Before you start clicking, you want to make sure you look at your wall settings, right? Is this a wall measuring up from the base constraint or down from the base constraint? So this is very typical of things like foundation walls. And then you want to decide whether it has a top constraint, right? Is it going from L1 to L2, or is it going an unconnected height, meaning it is not referencing a level at the top? Then you want to choose a location line. So if you have a set of grid lines and it needs to be on the exterior face, you want to maybe choose the core face exterior. Typically it's on something like the outside of the metal stud, not the finished face, right? So you want to make sure that that lines up right. And so there's core center line, right? So if you have a wall that has a thicker amount of layers on the outside versus the inside, the core center line is going to be different than the overall wall center line. Then you have the ability to chain. So if you're drawing multiple walls at once, you want to have that checked. If you need to offset your wall from something to, for example, create a 3-foot pathway, then you want to make sure that your offset works with that. And then radius, if you are doing turns at a particular radius, you want to check this and tell it to always do a 1 foot, right? So you can see if I turn here, it's automatically doing a 1 foot radius. Or if I wanted a 5 feet, I can turn and it's going to automatically give that a radius. If I uncheck this and I keep going, you can see that it is now a straight line or a straight corner. Now, another setting in here is the allow for joint status. So you can see all these walls nice cleanly joined. If I were to set this to disallow, you're going to see a bunch of very disconnected walls. And when you click on here, you'll see the button that tells you that it's been disallowed. Let that join up again, and there you go. That is a new thing in 25 where you have visual automatic wall joint controls. That was not a thing in the past. You also have this really nice add-on here, which if you're dealing with an existing renovation, the auto join for walls that are adjacent to each other is really nice, because sometimes you have to do that manually, right? So if I had, let's say that this is an existing wall and I needed a wall just outside of it, I'm going to choose finish face interior, set up my auto join, and then click on this right here. So I'm placing a masonry wall. You can see how now I have a nice thin common line here. I'm going to get rid of the auto join and then draw another wall along this side. And you can see now I don't have a nice thin line there. So that's what the auto join does. It basically eliminates the need for me to go to modify, join, and then manually join these two walls. And you can see I also have to do it at the corners. So it saves quite a bit of time if you were dealing with existing sort of renovations. Then when we're dealing with walls, there's a couple of additional settings here that are useful. If you wanted to have a slanted wall, You could go in instead of vertical, say slanted or tapered. These are new since I want to say 2022, maybe 2023 for the tapered. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Got any questions? Head over to bimdad.com and let us know. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. See you in the next one.